Hello viewers, welcome to Minute Mystery. This is the 25th of January, 1935, at 1:20 p.m. At this time, a man named Roland D. Owen went to a hotel in Kansas City, USA, and checked into room 1046. What did he say to the people who saw him at that time? He must 20 to 35 years old. His ears were like cauliflower and there was a small scar on his ear, and his hair was brown and black, and he was dressed neatly and he was wearing a black coat. Everyone who saw him said so. When he was going to check into room 1046, one of the hotel's bellboy, Randolph Probst, took his bag to help him and took him to room 1046. When he took him, he checked his bag and checked if there was anything inside. When he checked, there was nothing much in the bag. What did Roland D. Owen have in the bag? He had only a toothbrush, toothpaste, and a cheap bag. When he saw that, Randolph Probst was surprised. He came to room but he has only 3 items. He is different. It's okay, it's our job to show the room. He went to the room 1046, opened the door and told, "This is your room." He gave his bag to him and left. After a while, when Randolph left to clean the room for room service, Mary Subdick came to room 1046. She knocked on the door. Roland D. Owen opened the door. Mary Subdick came in to clean the room. She said, "I have to clean your room. It would be better if you wait outside." When she said, Owen said, "I can't wait outside. I am inside the room. You can clean. There won't be any disturbance." He is inside the room to clean the room. Mary Subdick was also surprised. He said, "I am cleaning the room. He won't go outside." I said, "It's okay, we will clean and leave." She cleaned the room completely. She said, "I am done with my job. If you are not satisfied with my cleaning, if there is anything you want us to clean, call us. We will clean the room." She left the room and went to lock the door. Roland D. Owen called Mary. He said, "You don't have to lock the door, just leave it open. My friend will be coming in few minutes, so after he comes I'll lock." Mary said, "You can lock the door." She left the room without locking the door. Mary Subdick went to the next room. She was cleaning the room. The situation to cross the room 1046 was created. Every time they crossed the room 1046, the door of the room was not locked. It was not locked at the same stage. It didn't look like anyone was locking the door. So, when they were crossing the room, they looked inside the room. The room was completely dark. There was no light inside, but there was a light in one place. That light, the bed of the room. The table lamp placed on the table next to the bed was burning. In the light of the table lamp, Roland D. was visible clearly. How he was looking is he must have felt something happened in his life, or he must have seen something and sat in that place. He was sitting in that bed when Mary was crossing the room. She was nervous. The difference was not only for her but also for the ones who crossed the door. They felt that he is different. They felt that his activities are different. It was 4 o'clock in the evening. Mary Subdick, who cleans the room, she came to every room to keep the towel. When they came to room 1046, the same way as afternoon, the door was not locked. When Mary Subdick came out of the room, she was asked to keep the new towel inside. Roland D. Owen asked her to keep it inside. Mary Subdick opened the door and placed the towel inside. They were looking at what Roland D. Owen was doing. Roland D. Owen was lying in the bed. He was lying in the bed with his clothes on. There was a letter on the table next to the bed. They were going to place the towel on the table. They were looking at what was written on the letter. "Dawn. I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." It was written in the letter. Mary was nervous. Only he is in the room. And whom did he write for? And he has mentioned that he'll be in 15 minutes. Where will he go? He is very different and decided not to stay there. She kept the towel and ran away. So, the time is running. The next day is coming. That is, January 3rd is also coming. So, on that 3rd, at about 10:30 in the morning, Mary, her usual play, is going to each room to clean the room. Those who go like that, finally go to room number 1046. When they go like that, the room is locked from the outside. So, after seeing this, Mary thought that he might have left this room yesterday and left the room. They are going to get that room key. But when they go to get it, they know that he has not yet vacated the room. He is in that room. The person in the reception is telling this to Mary. When Mary heard this, she also got a shock, because yesterday itself, he was doing a lot of different things, right? So, again, how to get into that room? They call room number 1046. In that room where they were called, How Roland T. Owen was sitting yesterday, in the same dark room, in that one table, in the light, he is sitting in the bed. So, he is sitting like that, the phone is ringing. He says, he is not hungry, he don't want anything. He cuts the phone immediately. When Mary heard this, she didn't understand anything. We called to clean the room. He says he is not hungry and cuts the phone. He doesn't listen to what we say. Okay, he is doing something, we will clean his room later. They cut the phone. So, the time is 4 o'clock in the evening. As usual, Mary is going to keep a new table in all the rooms. When they go, they come to room number 1046. When they come, 2 male voices are heard in room number 1046. When they are asking, Mary is knocking on the door of the room. As soon as they knock, a voice says, "Who is it?" Mary says, "I'm here for room service. I brought a new towel, I think I should take it inside. Can I come inside?" Mary hear a very harsh voice from inside. "We don't want a towel, we don't want anything, you leave from here." A voice comes from inside. When Mary hears this voice, they get scared. Something is happening in this room. Why should we come? Mary and Sopti leave that room. The time is running, and night is coming. A woman in room number 1048 is complaining. A man and a woman are fighting in room number 1046. They are screaming and we can't sleep. They are complaining to fix it. But the woman in the next room has complained. She should knock on the door and ask what it is. So, bellboy is knocking on the door of room number 1046. But no one has opened the door from inside. No kind of sound is coming from inside. So, he thought they are sleeping inside. The bellboy leaves from there. The time is ticking and it is morning. In the morning, many strange things are happening in room number 1046. In the morning of January 4th, 7:30 am, the hotel's phone operator called Probst. He said that the receiver in the phone in room number 1046 is not on the phone. Someone pushed it down. He asked me to fix it. The bellboy sends the Probst to room number 1046. The Probst man stands in front of room number 1046 and knocks on the door. When he knocks on the door, he hears the sound of someone calling him. The bellboy tries to open the door. But the door is locked inside. So, the bellboy can't open the door. So, the bellboy keeps knocking on the door. When the bellboy knocks on the door, he hears the sound of someone calling him. But he can't open the door. He can't let the Probst inside. So, the bellboy he is very drunk. So, he can't open the door. He is drunk and he pushed the phone. He thought to come after he is normal, so, the Probst leaves from there. The bellboy leaves from there. It is 8:30 am. The receiver didn't answer the phone. So, the hotel's operator calls the bellboy again. He tells him that he sends one guy by 7:30 but he didn't do it, so, you to room number 1046 again. Open the door and puts the receiver's phone on the phone. And then inform me the bellboy is sent to room number 1046. The bellboy goes to room number 1046. He knocks on the door. When the bellboy knocks on the door, he doesn't get any reply. So, the bellboy is very angry. He says that the room is locked from 7:30 am. He thought of using the passkey to put it right. He opens the door. When he goes inside, the room is completely dark. There is no light inside. The bellboy can see the bed in the dark room. He sees the Owen completely naked. He sees something dark. He turns on the light and thinks whether he can see it. But he sees the Owen completely naked. If he turns on the light, he will scold us. It will be embarrassing. He puts the receiver on the phone. He leaves the room and locks the door. After he went, it's been 2 hours, it's 10:30 am. The operator is very angry. He calls the bellboy. What is happening in the 1046 room? Always they are putting the receiver down. The operator sends the props to room 1046. He goes to room 1046 and knocks on the door. He doesn't get any reply. He puts the pass key and opens the door. When he went inside 2 feet distance from the door, Roland D. Owen was kneeling down and kept his hands on his face and was staring at the door. After seeing that, the propster was shivering for a minute. He was really in a different level. He was like, what happened to him? Suddenly he said, he looks like a psycho. He immediately turned on the light of the room. When he turned it on, the whole room was completely covered in blood. From the floor of the room to the door on the side of the room to the bathroom of the room. Until then, everything was covered in blood. After seeing this, the propster was in a different level. He said, we shouldn't be here for a second longer. He immediately ran away from there. He said this at the hotel reception. The next second, they informed the police about this. After informing, the police reached the hotel president in a few minutes. They reached the room 1046. When they saw that, Roland T. Owen was completely beaten and crushed in that room. He was lying in a pool of blood. That is, his hands and legs were tied. They hit him with something on his head and broke his head. There are many fangs on his neck. There are many knife marks on his chest. The police were shocked to see this. When there were so many rooms nearby, how did they attack him so brutally? When they attacked him, he was silent. The police stood there without knowing what happened. When they stood there, Roland T. Owen heard a slight growling sound. When he heard that, they said, he is alive, lift him up. When they said that, the police lifted him up. When they lifted him up, a detective asked him, who did this to you? When he asked, everyone was shocked to hear Roland T. Owen's answer. Everyone would have expected that he was attacked by a group of goons. But it was the complete opposite. Roland T. Owen said, no one beat me up. I fell down in the bathroom by myself. The police were shocked to hear this. They thought he was lying. But when they heard that, Roland T. Owen fell down unconscious. When he fell down, they took him to the hospital. When they took him to the hospital, they checked the room thoroughly. But there were no weapons found in the room. Except for 4 fingerprints. The phone was found in the room. The 4 fingerprints were found to be the fingerprints of a girl. But they couldn't find anything else. They couldn't even find the bag that Owen brought. When they checked the room, the doctor checked Owen. The doctor said that he was not injured recently. But he was injured 5 to 7 hours ago. They gave him an urgent injection. But the injection was not effective. Owen died that night. The investigation was intensified after Owen's death. The first step of the investigation was to go to the hotel president. They checked the name and address of the hotel president. They found out that he was a Los Angeles resident. They contacted the Los Angeles authorities to find out his identity. They asked for details about Owen. They searched for him. But they couldn't find anything about him. They contacted the Los Angeles authorities to find out his identity. The police were shocked. Is he not from Los Angeles? Then didn't he give the fake identity? They also tried a lot to find who is he, but they couldn't find anything about him. They published his photo. They published that his body was found in the Melody McKinney funeral home. His relatives could come so that we can find who is he. They published his photo in newspaper but they couldn't find anyone coming to get his body. We don't who is he and no one is coming to get his body. Also then how to find. Then they got a evidence. At first when Mary came to keep the towel, Mary saw a letter. Right, he has mentioned Don. I'll be back in 15 minutes. The police caught the name Don. He told Mary that his friends will come so asked her not to close. Right, the police guessed that Don could be his friend. There is another reason also. When Mary again crossed the room they told that two males' voice was heard. So if there are two males in the room, one would have been Roland D. Owen and the other one would have been Don. The police are guessing. So they are trying to figure out who Don is and they are trying to find out as much as they can. But they can't find any details about Don. So when they find out that there is no progress in this case, the police are exhausted. So we don't know who is he who killed him and who is his relatives. Nobody claimed his body, so why to keep his body? Let's do the procedure and we'll say it in newspaper and we'll say the date on which we are doing. They published that relatives can join the condolences. As soon as it was published, Melody McCauley's funeral home received a call. Yes, according to that call, you shouldn't bury Roland's body in a proper grave. Instead, we are sending money. With that money, you bury Roland's body in Memorial Park Cemetery with full respect. That call was also cut. As soon as it was cut, we attended that call and talked. That girl didn't understand anything. She asked, "Who are you talking to?" That call was cut before the girl could hear it. So, immediately the police were informed about this. But no matter what we informed, the police couldn't find out who was talking in that call. But the police couldn't find out who was the mysterious person who called. As he said, on March 23, a newspaper bundle was sent to the funeral home. When we opened the bundle, there was a lot of money inside. There was also a flower bouquet and a letter. It said, "Love forever, Louis." It also said, "Keep this letter in his grave." But the police couldn't find out who sent this. So, a year and a half passed by. In the year 1936, a British woman was reading an American magazine. She had covered an article about the death of Roland T. Owen. In that article, she had mentioned that he was a mysterious man. When she saw this photo, she was very shocked. Because the boy in this photo was her friend's son. So, she showed the article to her friend. She asked him, "Where is your son?" His friend said, "He left England in 1934. Then, the woman said, "He died in America." She showed the article to her friend. When she saw that, she started crying. Only after she cried, the world came to know the real name of Roland T. Owen. Yes, his real name is Artemis Ogletree. He was only 17 years old. A boy had left his home. He didn't get any reply from his mother. You can ask her if her mother had any doubt. But, a mysterious thing happened here. Even after Roland T. Owen's death, her mother received 3 mysterious letters. Those 3 letters were from him. So, she thought that his son was still alive in America. But, the worst thing is that Roland T. Owen didn't know how to type. But, he typed all the letters that she received. Not only that, none of the slang in the letters were Roland T. Owen's. So, how did she believe that the letters were from him? There is a mystery here. So, after 1.5 years, the police found out the real name of Roland T. Owen. But, the police couldn't find out who killed Roland T. Owen. But, the police has 3 theories. The first theory is Don. As we said, Mary came to clean room 1046. She mentioned Don in the letter. But, when she crossed the room, the police guessed that one of the 2 male voice could be Don's. So, the police didn't believe that Don did it. But, the police got a stronger reason. Before Roland T. Owen stayed in this hotel, the police collected the evidence that Don stayed with Roland T. Owen in another hotel. even though they took the room and stayed together, but the police couldn't find out the identity of Dawn. So, the police thought that Dawn might have killed Roland Owen in room 1046. The second theory is that Dawn didn't kill Roland T. Owen, but a woman killed Roland T. Owen. They kept some evidence. One night, a woman in room 1048 complained that a woman's voice was heard in room 1046. So, a woman must have been in room 1046. The police didn't say this as evidence. On the day of the complaint, a mysterious woman came to the 10th floor. Lift operator has seen it. She was 5'5" and weighed 135 pounds. He said that her hair was dark. He also said that she went to the 1026 room on the 10th floor. But she didn't go to 1026. She went to 1046. That's what the lift operator said. That night, she went with Dawn. The police thought that she might have killed with Dawn. The clear evidence is that 4 fingerprints were found in room 1046. All 4 were of a woman. The police thought that she might have killed Roland T. Owen. The third theory is that Roland T. Owen might have been his lover. Roland T. Owen might have cheated him. She might have gone to ask him a question. His brother might have gone with him. Dawn might have been his brother. The police thought that Roland T. Owen might have been killed by them. There is a reason for this theory. When the police asked Roland T. Owen who did this, he said that he did it. The police thought that he might have said this not to tell his lover. So, once Roland T. Owen died, the police thought that Roland Owen's lover might have done this. The police thought that the police might have sent money to Roland T. Owen's grave. The police have 3 theories. Only he knows why Roland T. Owen died. The mystery is still unresolved. Comment your opinion about this case. If you like this video, don't forget to like and share.